So today you're going to work on developing a procedure for your lab report. So in the procedure, there are three major things that you need to include. So the first thing is, in each part of the lab, you need to describe what measurements you made. So specifically, what things did you measure? You need to also include what tool you measured with, and lastly, how accurately you measured your data, so that if another student was to go and perform the same experiment, they could mimic it without any problem. So I don't want to write up the procedures for you for this lab because I'd like you to do that on your own, but I'd like to show you what I mean by these three things using a sample procedure. So here's a sample experimental procedure, and it has nothing to do with our lab, but it will give you an idea of what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a numbered list, and I'm looking for it to be straight and to the point, but it to include those three things that I mentioned before. So the first step is number each battery so you can tell them apart. Step 2, measure each battery's voltage using the voltmeter to the nearest volt. So it's telling me what to measure each battery's voltage. It tells me what tool to measure with, the voltmeter, and then it tells me how accurately I need to measure to the nearest volt. Okay, so this is what to measure. This is the tool to measure with, and this is how accurately. Okay, so again, down below, another example. It says let the device run for 30 minutes before measuring its voltage again using the voltmeter. Record the voltage in the table every time it's measured to the nearest volt. So I'm telling you the accuracy to the nearest volt. I'm measuring voltage, and I'm using a voltmeter. So each time you mention your measurements, you want to make sure you're measuring the tool, and the accuracy with which you're measuring.